Tonight, I'd like to take you somewhere far from the noise of the day. A place where lanterns glow softly through the pines, and the air is scented with wood smoke and rain. Where an old cottage waits quietly at the edge of the forest. Its door open, its fire warm, its rooms ready to welcome you. In this place, there is no rush, no worry, only comfort, calm, and the gentle pleasure of being home. So settle in, breathe deeply, and let me take you down the path to the Whispering Cottage. Chapter 1. The Path Through the Pines. The sky is deepening into a soft violet as you step onto the forest path. The air is cool and scented faintly with pine resin, damp moss, and a distant wisp of wood smoke. Somewhere in the stillness, a single owl calls. The sound lingers in the twilight, fading gently into silence. Lanterns hang from crooked iron hooks, and their golden light swaying just enough to make the shadows dance. Each step you take presses softly into the springy forest floor, and the path curves ahead, never revealing more than a few meters at a time, as though inviting you to slow down, to take in the beauty of each moment. You notice the small details, a patch of soft moss glowing green in the lantern light, a trickle of water winding over smooth stones, and the occasional flutter of wings as night birds shift in the branches above. The deeper you walk, the quieter the world becomes. All you hear is the soft rhythm of your footsteps and the hushed whisper of the breeze treading through the tall pines. Ahead you catch a glimpse of something warm, golden light spilling across the ground. The path leads you closer until the shape of a small cottage begins to emerge. Half hidden by trees, smoke curls lazily from its chimney, fading into the dim evening sky. The sight stirs something inside you, an unexpected feeling of recognition, as if you have been here before, in another dream, and another lifetime. The closer you get, the warmer the air becomes. You take one more step, and the forest gives way to a small clearing. The cottage stands there waiting, quiet and welcoming, as though it has been expecting you all along. Chapter 2. The Old Wooden Door. The door is old oak, the grain soft and smooth, where countless hands have found their way home. A brass handle, cool under your fingers, turns with a quiet sigh. The hinges answer with a tender creak, like a friendly whisper saying, "Come in." Warmth rolls out to meet you, lamplight drifting across floorboards rubbed honey bright by time. The faintest sweetness of cinnamon and orange peel curls through the air from the kitchen beyond, where a kettle hums almost imperceptibly. You pause in the entry and breathe. The cottage feels like a held note, steady, comforting, gently resonant in your chest. Your shoulders loosen without asking. A woolen shawl hangs on a peg beside the door. Its fringe brushes your wrist. Outside, the pines murmur. Inside, the silence is kind. Shoes off, the floor cool at first, then familiar. Your footfalls make soft hollow thuds that disappear almost as soon as they arrive. To your left, there's a small table scattered with river stones and a pressed fern beneath glass. To your right, a simple mirror framed in driftwood. In the mirror, your face looks softer in this light. The day is smoothed away, and you run a hand through your hair and let the last of the outside world melt from your muscles. From the kitchen, a gentle click. The kettle is ready. Somewhere deeper in the cottage, firewood shifts. The air taste is of quiet and home. You hang your coat, feeling the weave slip from your fingers, and step forward. The door closes on its own with a friendly thump. A sense of being sheltered settles over you, like standing in a small circle of lamplight while snow flurries harmlessly past the windows. You are safely inside. You are welcome here. Chapter 3. The Fireside Chair. The hearth glows in a mellow, orange hush. Logs lean against each other like old companions, exhaling tiny pops and crackles. The armchair waits close by, deep, generous, a little threadbare at the arms. When you sit, it receives you completely, the cushion easing under your weight, the backrest curved like an embrace. Heat pulls along your shins and draws up into your knees, your hips, your shoulders. The day loosens its last knots and slips quietly to the floor. On a small table a cup awaits, steam halos above the rim, and when you lift it, the warmth kisses your palms. Cinnamon, chamomile, a whisper of honey. You sip. The sweetness is gentle, nothing hurried, like a kind word said at the perfect time. Outside, a soft tick of wind treats places with silence. You could stay like this all evening, eyes half-lit, breath unhurried, and the room slowly brightening and dimming with the heartbeat of the fire. A basket of wool blankets rests at your feet. You draw one over your knees, soft as cloud, faintly scented with lavender. Its weight is just enough to tell your body it can stop trying. The flames lean and settle, painting low gold across the rock, across your fingers, across the simple frame pictures on the mantel. Wildflowers, a small boat on a lake, moonlit pines. You notice the way the chair creaks as you exhale, like wood speaking in comfort. You notice how your breath naturally lengthens, as if the cottage is breathing with you. One breath in for calm, one breath out for release. On the next exhale, a quiet thought arrives. You have nowhere else to be. The chair, the fire, the steady warmth. This is enough. You close your eyes and rest. Chapter 4. The Library Loft. A wooden ladder rises to the loft. Its rungs smooth, the edges rounded by years of use. Your hand finds the rail, and you climb slowly, listening to the gentle chorus of the cottage below embers, shifting. Your hand finds the rail, and you climb slowly, listening to the gentle chorus of the cottage below. Embers shifting, kettle settling, wind tasting the eaves. At the top a little universe opens. Shelves upon shelves, books in every shade of quiet color. And their spines, faded and soft, lean together like neighbors at a fence. You step onto a braided rug. The loft smells of paper, linen, and a trace of lavender. Dust motes float on lamplight. Tiny planets drifting at an unhurried pace. A low window watches the forest, framing a slice of night where a single star has just arrived. You run a finger along the shelves, then pause at a title you don't remember learning, but somehow know. When you open it, the pages breathe a gentle exhale. Words unfold like pathways. A quiet harbor, a train rolling through fields silvered with dew. The sentences move without urgency, each one a soft stone placed carefully where your foot will land. You are both reading and being read to, as if the book understands exactly how to soothe you. You turn a page. The paper's soft rasp is a lullaby in miniature. A cushioned window seat calls you closer. You settle in, book open on your lap, back warmed by the lamplight. Outside branches sway, inside letters glow. You read a paragraph twice, not because you must, but because it is pleasant to linger. The story is thin as silk and strong as memory, and it says, "Go slowly." It says, "You are safe." And when you close the book at last, its cover rests warm beneath your hand, and the loft feels like a hill breath. You descend even calmer than before. Chapter 5. The rain-touched windows. It begins as a hush, the quiet of quiet that means weather is gathering its thoughts. Then the first raindrop touches the glass, one clear tap, then another. Soon a delicate pattern forms. Pearled beds chased by gravity into slender rivers. You stand by the window, your breath fogging a small oval on the pane, and the forest blurs into watercolor, greens and greys and the faint, warm flicker of the cottage, reflected back toward you. The rain speaks in friendly syllables against the roof. It is neither storm nor spectacle, only company. You trace a fingertip through the fogged oval, drawing a small spiral that fades almost as soon as it appears. The room around you listens, and the air grows a little cooler, carrying the mineral calm of wet earth and pine needles rinsed clean. Somewhere in the distance, a brook answers with a secret smile. You pull the curtain back a little and watch rivulets race. You quietly choose favorites. Every so often, a drop leaps, a tiny gap, finds a partner, and together they move more surely. The sound reminds you to breathe. In with the gentle patter, out with the steady drip from the eaves. A clock ticks somewhere, untroubled. Your shoulders slide down another inch, as if gravity has become kinder. You draw the quilt tighter around your shoulders and rest your forehead against the cool glass. The heat of your skin summons a faint halo in the chill. Outside twilight folds itself into a deeper blue. The cottage, windows glowing like lanterns set up on the rain. When you step back at last, the pattern on the pane continues its soft, private journey. You leave it to its art, the rain painting comfort across the night, one drop at a time. Chapter 6. The secret garden door. Behind the pantry, half hidden by an apron, is a small painted door the color of lichen. Its handle is a ceramic knob, cool and smooth, painted with a tiny sprig of rosemary. When you turn it, a breath of night slips in, cool, damp, fragrant with soil and green things. The door opens onto a garden, stitched together by moonlight. Narrow paths of worn stone, beds brimming with herbs, pale blossoms that seem to exhale their own soft glow. You step out, and the air carries the clean sweetness of mint. Dew gathers along the edges of leaves, purling like a constellation fallen to earth. Somewhere close, a nightingale tries a few notes and then continues, unhurried, as if it is composing the evening in real time. Your footsteps are barely a whisper on the stones. Low lanterns, glass-bellied and gentle, line the path toward a wooden bench. You sit, and the bench sighs, once as if relieved to find you. Overhead, bees hum softly. You close your eyes and simply listen. The measured hush of your breath, the nightingale's ribboned melody, the delicate clink of a wind chime. You open your eyes to the close magic of small things. A snail tracing a silver thread along the rim of a pot. Thyme leaves raising their scent when brushed, and the moon placing a quiet fingertip on everything it loves. In the garden's center, a shallow stone bowl holds rainwater. You dip your fingers, cool and silvery. You press them to your temples. Calm blooms. When you return through the little door, the cottage receives you like a friend, and the night follows on your heels, tender and bright. Chapter 7. The Midnight Kitchen. The kitchen is a hush of gentle silhouettes. Copper pots hang like moons from a dark sky. Their rims catch the least bit of lamplight. You touch the stove, its warmth is lingering, steady. On the counter waits a wooden bowl, a jar of flour, a drape of linen. Somehow, midnight feels like exactly the time for bread. You measure without measuring, a good enough handful, a pinch, a slow pour of water that sounds like a soft prayer. Your hands move in the old rhythm, gathering, folding, pressing, and the dove accepts it all and becomes something whole. It is cool at first, then warmer beneath your palms. The counter squeaks faintly. Flour sags into a pale constellation across the wood. You knit until the surface glows with smoothness, and your breath has found a comfortable pace. And the cottage seems to approve. The beams creak once, companionably. You leave the dove to rise beneath the linen, and the waiting becomes its own small ceremony. The clock ticks around patient song. And you wash your hands, and the water runs warm, and the soap smells like rosemary and lemon. And when you uncover the bowl, the dove has become a hill, gentle and sure. You shape it, score a simple leaf, and slide it into the oven. Heat embraces it with quiet purpose. And a while later, the aroma begins, first shy, then certain. Toasted grain, a hint of sweetness, and something deeply remembered. You slice a small piece when it's cool enough to hold. Steam curling like breath from winter lips. Butter softens into the crumb, and the first bite is tender and honest. Midnight tastes like home. The kitchen returns to its soft outline, the night satisfied. Chapter 8. The Attic Observatory. A narrow staircase turns twice, and the steps a little shorter, and the wood a little older. At the top, a round window greets you like an eye opening to the sky, and the attic is simple, a desk with an old brass telescope, a chart of constellations pinned with tiny pearl tacks, a cushion on a woven mat, and the air is cool and hushed, touched by cedar and a whisper of dust that holds the day's last light. You sit and turn the telescope gently, and the brass is smooth, warmed by many patient hands. and through the lens the night sharpens. A field of stars steps forward, crisp and bright. Between them, a darkness so soft it feels like velvet, and you find the slow glitter of a familiar constellation, and then another. Outside the lens, the round window frames, the treetops swaying in unison, a lullaby written in silhouette. You breathe in for 4 beats, out for 6, matching the trees, the hush, the deep cold clarity that starlight brings. Somewhere, a fox arranges its den. Somewhere, a river carries the moon. In here, the only sound is your breath, and the faint click when you adjust the focus a final time. And you rest your cheek on your folded arms, and the telescope angled toward a bright point that seems to pulse with friendliness. Perhaps it only reflects your own calm, and the attic holds you like the inside of a seashell, curved, protective, softly resonant. And when you rise at last, the window glows just a little with frost's early lace. You leave your handprint on the pane, a small human constellation, and tiptoe back down, starlight stitched quietly into your heart. Chapter 9. The Moonlit Balcony. A narrow door beside the stair opens onto a wooden balcony tucked beneath the eaves. The night meets you kindly, and the moon rests low and generous, laying soft silver across the railing, the rooftops, the far line of the forest. You wrap a shawl around your shoulders and feel the cool find your cheeks, the pleasant kind that wakes you without any sharpness. Crickets write their patient script in the darkness. From somewhere near the path, a small creature rustles and then thinks better of it. You set a cup of chamomile on the railing and you lean your elbows beside it, letting your gaze fall far. And the world has quieted into its truest form, not empty, simply at peace. And even the air seems to move more thoughtfully, as if each breath is a gift passed hand to hand. And you rest your palms flat on the smooth wood, and you feel the faint echo of the day's warmth stored here. The moon eases through a thin cloud and brightens the clearing. You can just make out the garden gate, the curve of the path, and the sheen of rainwater lingering in shallow puddles. Everything appears as if drawn with a soft pencil. You raise the cup, sip, and close your eyes. For a moment, you become a listening post for the night taking, every small sound and returning only calm. Gratitude arrives without ceremony, for the chair beneath you, for the shawl, and for the patient moon who keeps a light on for travelers and dreamers. When you finally stand, your body feels both grounded and weightless, like mist that remembers being rain, and you slip back inside, leaving the balcony to its moonlit work. Chapter 10. The bedroom under the eaves. The bedroom is small, and that is its magic. The ceiling slopes low, guiding your thoughts to quiet places. A patchwork quilt rose, moss, cream spreads over the bed with the hush of falling snow. A single lamp pools warm light on a bedside table where a sprig of rosemary rests in a small glass, and a book waits with a ribbon tucked between its pages. You draw the curtains halfway and let the moon keep a gentle watch. The sheets are cool at first touch, then welcoming. You settle beneath the quilt, feeling its familiar weight nestle you into the mattress. The pillow yields and remembers you. From the hearth room below, a faint, friendly crackle drifts upward. The pines outside murmur their soft weather song against the roof. You place a hand on your chest, one on your belly, and listen to the slow rise and fall, in through the nose and out like a sigh. The room smells faintly of linen and lavender, with a trace of pine resin from the beams. Each breath smooths the edges of the day until there is nothing left to turn over, nothing left to solve. Only this warmth, softness, and the gentle promise that morning will return with the kettle and the birds. Your eyes drift closed, and the quilt becomes a small hill, and you, the traveler, have found the valley. Thoughts arrive like snowflakes, quiet, harmless, melting as they touch, and the lamp clicks softly when you turn it off, and darkness folds around you like a kind hand. Somewhere in the garden, a nightingale sings one last note in the safe, steady hush beneath the eaves. You fall into sleep that feels like home. Good night, dreamer.